Hey guys, Yessie here, Lost Cuban Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing arroz con gandules. Make it in Cuba every once in a while, but it's mostly known for being Puerto Rico's national dish. So you're going to need your pigeon peas, gandules in Spanish, salt, pepper, some sort of sofrito mix. We're going to be making ours today: onions, garlic, bell peppers, and tomatoes. We're going to use chicken stock instead of water for the rice. Gives it a little bit different, a little bit more flavor. And then I like to use saffron to give it that yellow pop, yellow buttery pop. We're gonna, instead of using the sazon jamon of Goya, the ham seasoning, we're gonna be crisp up some salt pork with our sofrito mixture, and then it's gonna come out good. So first things first, let's cut up our veggies for the sofrito. We're just gonna need to halve them up, because all we're gonna do is gonna throw them into the oven with all the other veggies that we're gonna have. Yeah, if you're ever at a Puerto Rican or Cuban get together, any sort of barbecue, something like that, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have arroz con gandules. It's gonna be there. It's gonna either be that, or it's gonna be con gris, which is rice and black beans all mixed together and a little bit dehydrated. But yeah, you can't go wrong with arroz con gandules. It's a very popular dish. You can also, we're using chicken stock, and we're using the ham and the pancetta. You could definitely use, you could definitely do a vegetarian, vegan version of this with no problem. So always adapt it to how you want it to be. I don't really have any use for these today, so we're just gonna toss those. If we're in a restaurant, we'd probably use like 2 plates and then run the knife right in between the middle of them and just slice them all at once. But you don't always have to be efficient at your house. It doesn't always have to be about speed. We're just trying to make a good, tasty dish here. So do this at your own pace. You're not trying to get a Michelin star for your house. So let's throw these in here. Da-da-da-da. Ah, shit. And then, as always, make sure that your knife is nice and sharp. It's always a critical mistake, and usually how you end up cutting yourself is with a dull or kind of raggedy knife edge. So always take care of your blade, and it'll take care of you. So, and then we will throw a couple garlic cloves, and our pork. This is salted pork. You could use ham hock. You could just use the sazon completa or the sazon jamon. I like this salted pork. It gives it that taste that only pork like chicharrones will give you. All right, so then we are going to. I like to do mid-sized cubes. You don't want to go too small, so it's just going to become like bacon bits. So. Okay. All right. Let's. Yeah, this is a pretty simple recipe. If you're going to do this for a party, I would say just get it all sorted out beforehand, and then it comes together pretty quickly. If you were to do the sofrito like a day before, or you could just buy the sofrito from Goya or Badia or any of those. Any of those companies make a sofrito mixture. So. And we're gonna since we got the salted pork, it's definitely gonna add the saltiness to, so I'm not gonna put any salt in our sofrito mixture right now. I am, however, going to put pepper and paprika. And then we're just gonna spray this with a little bit of canola oil, olive oil. Probably putting this at 500 degrees. So probably not the right oil for this application. All right, so looks nice and good. Put it in there. Let it go for probably 30 minutes, I would say. And let it go there. Probably be checking in on it at probably 15 minutes, turn it around. And then, as always, just make sure that you clean as you go. We don't want to always have messes in the kitchen. The olives are gonna, they're not a typical thing, but I like them in this dish. I definitely think it adds to it, gives it a little bit more vibrancy. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for that to get done. There's nothing really we can be doing right now because we need the sofrito to get done. And once that does, we'll be back. All right, guys. All right, and we're back. The sofrito is done. We're gonna pick out the little ham chunks. Gonna want to pick them out. We don't need to blend them. Should have quite a bit of the ham juices. But if one or two get in there, doesn't really matter. And something that I've been doing recently with the these salted ham salt pork chunks of that I've been getting, is I've been putting them on cedar planks and grilling them, and the results are freaking amazing, if you ask me. All right, this is all right. All right, there's that. Let's grab our buddy and this guy. You could char it less, you could char it more. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is that it tastes good for your palate. All right, so we got this underway. Let's see, we got some, as long as we got some fire roasted, just let's see how we're doing. Who's that? Oh, look, it's Rizzy. Rizzy's here for the camera. She loves being on the videos. Let's turn this on. And there we go. Just needed it to be blended up a little bit. We didn't need it like a fine. Don't need it to be finely pureed. Okay. All right. Well, we're not gonna have to use that, so put that back. Let's get our okay, so the first thing we are going to do is fry off our pancetta. Then we're going to add you could use bacon if you want. You could use nothing. I like this to be my base though. You could just use oil and some onions if you'd like. Okay. Just let that be. And we will start stirring them. All right. And we are just going to want this to just start rendering out all of that yummy pork fat. And we're going to want to do this on high heat. All right. This has a nice little hammy taste to it. I think it gives it more of a unique flavor than if you were using the packets of ham seasoning. While this is going, I'm going to turn down just a little bit. We're going to drain out the water in the 2 cans. I couldn't find the dry ones at my grocery store this time, but I prefer using the dry ones and cooking them. Oh shit. Okay. Well, now that I got all of it out of there. And okay. Yeah. When possible, I think it's always best to use the dry beans. Seeing this getting a little bit of color to it, which is good. It's becoming popcorn pork right now, which is yummy. What's that? Oh, it's an onion. Throw another garlic in there. All right. You want it to color up, but you don't want it to burn. So that's why I'm saying it's always good to just start always mixing. Okay. Raise the heat on it. Let this get that flavor. Let some of that before we add the sofrito. We are going to reduce all this water out of here. All right. Because we're gonna toast the rice after that, so we want this to get real drained. Yeah, it's looking real nice right now. So for saffron, I usually just go with these Morden brand. We're gonna use 1 pod. You don't have to use saffron. I mean, I get it if you don't want to. This entire little setup here of saffron was 30 bucks and it's only nothing. It's barely nothing. All right. So what you want is you're gonna want real hot water. And you're just gonna let this soak in there for a good 15 to 30 minutes. And we're going to get this nice and watery. All right. The saffron seeds are in there. All right. These are looking nice and where we want them to be. Now we're going to add our sofrito. Remember, you don't have to make your own sofrito. Goya makes a real good one. And you can see how it's already letting out some of that hue, which is what we want the color for. Because Arroz con Gandules is a very... Alright. Alright. Yeah, this is drying that out. Nice. And now it's time for our chicken stock. And I want to scrape all of that goodness. We don't want to lose any of the flavors that we've been accumulating here at the bottom. Four cups of rice. All right, so we're gonna let the saffron do that. I have this on a simmer right now. Yeah. Yeah, look at how nicely it's dispersing in there. All right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna let this cook for a little bit. We're gonna add some when we come back, and we will be good to go. All right, guys. We'll clean up. All right, and we're back. So I kind of figured this would happen with this kind of rice. I used Spanish from Spain bomba rice that I use for my paellas. Kind of got a little bit clumpy. If you use your long grain or medium long grain, regular basmati, you're gonna get that nice individual thing going on. This unfortunately it turned into sort of like a paella mixture, but still good. You know, sometimes you just make mistakes. I knew that was gonna come bite me in the ass, but sometimes you just gotta power through. And as long as it's a good dish, you're still gonna have a good time with it. This just feels like it's more for arroz con pollo or paella. But all the flavors are there, the color's there. It's got that vibrant yellow. You just gotta always, once you start playing around with your different rices, they all do different sort of things. Like your sushi rices, your short grain rices, they're gonna behave differently than the long grain rices. They're gonna take different amounts of water. So it's just real. You just got to be in tune with what you're working with. Yeah, this is delicious though. I'm gonna have to keep on eating this tonight. Using the chicken stock adds that breath of flavor. Something that regular water is not going to do. Using the saffron gives it that butteriness. Using the salted pork inside of the what's it called? The sofrito really gives it that saltiness and ham kind of flavors to it. You can taste all of it when you take a bite. The bay leaf, it comes through. I threw that in halfway through because Mom and Grandma got pissed that I didn't put one in. When in doubt, always throw a bay leaf in. If you're making any sort of island food, because we them island boys. Bye guys. Like, subscribe. Love you guys always.